You're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel, and today the absolutely massive Yamaha RS7000 from the early 2000s. It's a groovebox, it's big, and does it sound big? Let's see. Ooh. So I found this RS7000 on eBay for a relatively low price. Normally they sold for around 600 to 700 credits, and this one was much cheaper but in a bad shape. Keys weren't responsive, the screen was broken, the backplate was missing, and the casing had more scratches than a cat after midnight. The RS7000 is an early 2000s groovebox by Yamaha. It has a lot of hands-on controls for the sequencer and the synthesizer, and it also has a built-in sampler that lets you sample things while performing. Data can be stored on SCSI devices or smart media cards. The older people among us may remember those. They were introduced shortly after papyrus rolls became obsolete. It has up to 64 MB of RAM, which translates to roughly 6 minutes of stereo CD quality samples. And on the back you'll find MIDI in, out and through connectors, a SCSI plug, a sustain pedal plug, stereo audio in and out. And here's a look at the old broken LCD, which I'm going to replace with this shiny new blue and white LCD built by that guy on eBay. Link is in this video's description. Okay, let's exchange that screen. Start by unplugging all the cables, then carefully turn the unit around and remove all the screws from the bottom plate. It's a good idea to take pictures of all the steps you'll walk through, so you don't forget which part belongs where. After removing the screws, the bottom plate can be removed easily, letting us access the main board. And let's take a look at that before we continue. Under this plastic cover, we find the SCSI control chip. This is an integrated sound controller processing the sounds from the AWM tone generator over here. And here's the RAM. As you can see, this RS7000 is maxed out with a whopping 64 MB of sample RAM. And this is the smart media reader, and these are the audio jacks. And now let's unplug the cables. Remember, it's a very good idea to take a picture so you don't forget how these are connected. Now remove all the screws securing the main board. A battery-powered screwdriver is really helpful here. For the screws near the back cover, you'll want to use a regular screwdriver though. Next is the backplate. You'll need to remove all the screws found there too. Make sure you hold the main board in place by pushing against it so it doesn't fall out when removing the last screw. Now you should be able to remove the main board. Watch for cables clinging to it, just push them aside and the main board should come out easily. The next step is to remove the smart media card reader, which is secured by 4 screws, 2 of them on the outside. After that, remove all the screws holding that big metal plate in place. Doing this will also remove the screws holding the PSU cover in place. Just lift the lid up, also carefully remove all those plastic covers. Now continue removing each and every screw from that metal plate. You'll even need to unscrew the power plug socket. And after that is done, the metal plate should come loose and you'll finally see that LCD in front of you. And here it is, held in place by 4 more screws. Remove the cable connection first, and then remove the screws and take out the old display. Don't throw that display away though. You can still sell that backlight, and you'll maybe even find someone who'll buy the LCD. Now you'll need to break away the bottom plastic brackets, because the new display is slightly larger than the old one. I used a pair of pliers and a cutter knife for this. Take your time and don't rush this, or you may end up damaging yourself or the electronics. Next, you'll definitely want to clean that glass screen cover thoroughly, because nothing is more annoying than having a brand new screen covered in dust and fingerprints. Brush away the dust and use glass cleaner to get rid of anything else. Now insert the screen into the remaining brackets and connect the cable and fix it all with 4 screws. The long cable with the potentiometer at its end is for adjusting the brightness of the screen. It's a good idea to position the end of this cable somewhere near the back of the RS7000. Now it's time to reassemble all the parts. I hope you took some pictures of the process, otherwise you'll pretty much be lost. And here's the moment finally, a beautiful shiny blue and white screen working flawlessly. Now I can start exploring the RS7000. Okay, so let's turn this on, and yeah, while this is booting, you can see there are lots of hands-on controls here. We've got an effects section, envelope generator, filter, LFO, pitch and portamento, and here's the global effects for the sequencer and the main playback. And yeah, we got this nice big blue screen, yay. And here are data entry knobs, so you can change the values you're seeing here on the screen. And also you've got these buttons to access different menus. And we've got this numeric keypad here, which is also the main menu for all the RS7000's functions it provides. We've got the sequencer knobs here, record, play, and yeah, this is the keyboard. Also is used for track selection and muting and transposing and live playing, of course. And yeah, so that's the general overview. I won't go too much into depth here. I will do other videos on this machine. Let's first listen how this thing actually sounds. So let's go to the mixer, and now I'm on track 1. Let's turn on the keyboard, and I'll just select a pad sound here like this. And now yeah, here it is. Now while I'm holding this, I can tweak the filter, resonance, LFO. Delay. Okay, so now let's record a sequence. This is a 4-bar loop at the moment. I'll leave it that way, and I'll just press record and play. Here we go. Okay, very creative. Now let's adjust the LFO a bit. So okay, we've got a pad. Now let's stop this and select another track. So let's use a drum kit now. We've got this analog kit here. Let's see. And now let's do a step recording because, whoops. So press the record button, then go to pattern. And then we can change the recording type to step. Then we just press play. And now let's select the note length here. I'll do quarter notes and just hit the bass drum. Here we go. All right, done. Let's listen. Okay, now next step, some kind of arpeggiator, so let's go to the next track and select on the mixer a synth instrument, for example this one, pure saw wave. Okay, so let's go. Record, play, once again in the step sequencer, 16th notes like this, and now let's just enter a random sequence here. Alright, so let's listen to this. So far so good. Now let's adjust delay and reverb. And of course I can record the filter movements and everything I adjust here. So let's do that next. Press record, go to pattern, and then I'll switch this to overdub, and here we go. Yeah, play. So here we go. All right. Let's do that on the pad sound too. So here we go. Let's change back to track 1 and let's record in overdub mode and adjust the filter. Alright. Now let's select the lead sound. So go to mixer. Here's the lead. So let's search for lead sound. Let's just augmented time. Yeah, I think that's enough. A quick jam on this machine, and I'll do another video showing off the phrase sequencer, which is a powerful inspiration machine. But yeah, for today, this should be sufficient. Yeah, and that's it for today. Yamaha RS7000 sample groovebox from the early 2000s. Did you like the sound and the general usability? Please write it in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing here, you can support me in multiple ways. First thing is, of course, you can subscribe to this channel. That's always welcome. And I also have set up a Gumroad page where you can download all my samples and sound packs for various synthesizers. A link is in this video's description. And of course, you can just listen to my music on Spotify. That's a small income for me, and that's also highly welcome if you do that. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.